Millz.
Right, people, welcome to another episode of Coz We Can with me, Sideman, and Zeze
Millz. You done know. David, embrace your culture. Don't edit this out. Don't start doing all this like, oh, I have to take it out because, you know, I'm a Christian and I can't say.
Because I want YouTube monetization, which pays for the show.
Oh, right.
And when you have swearing in it, then it limits the amount of adverts that you can have.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ting, man. That's a ting.
This is indicative of your character altogether.
What?
This is why you say jarring things and have the internet hate you. You love it?
Do I really?
You do?
I'm just twerking in my chair a little bit, trying to...
Is that what that is?
Jiggle. Yeah, it's not really much. Not much is happening because there's not much there. But you know how it goes. Anyway, what's happening? How have you been?
I've been alright. You know, how have you been?
I've been alright. You know, had a few.
You don't sit still.
What do you mean?
Like every day, your snap is you at some place doing something.
Yeah, because I'm a little social butterfly,
No,
baby.
see, you are. When you look at your snap, you wouldn't think that lockdown is a thing.
I'll give it a rest.
No.
Lockdown isn't a thing at the moment because they're saying 6 groups of people in a big old pub, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But anyway, before when we was all locked down, I was in my house all the time.
I'm just saying, bro.
And
your
now
snaps,
I'm out. I'm living my best life. You know, it was nice. We've had nice weather.
Where are these places and things that you're going to?
That's what happens when you live in London. There's places to go.
I'll behave yourself.
Here, I don't know.
You know, I just moved back from London. I've lived there for like 3 years.
Ooh, I've lived there all my life.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway,
Have you even seen green grass?
Have I seen green
You
grass?
guys have grass up there.
Beautiful grass. Go to Hyde Park. Go to Richmond Park. Ooh, Richmond Park. Listen, guys, if you want to take a girl, you want to take your guy on a date or whatever, it's really, really nice. They just have deers running around, and you can have
deers.
Like you can have a picnic, and there's like a deer just like sitting. Like I went there, and it was just like I was here, and the deer was just like there, like where the camera is. I don't really care about this
deer story, but listen. Cardi B.
At least your laugh has a bit more bass to it this week.
Anyway, Cardi.
What, Cardi B and Offset have
Cardi B and Offset have broken up, yeah.
Or filed for divorce.
Filed for divorce,
allegedly.
Shocking. I spoke about this today in a video Wednesday.
What don't you speak about?
Mind your business, bro. So obviously, Cardi B and Offset have broken up. They've gotten divorced. Now
they're getting divorced.
I'm getting divorced. I'm actually scared, for this generation. I think we're about to see a generation of the oldest single people we've ever seen.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because
I'm not even saying
but
it's
they've
bad,
also said that people are getting married later and divorce rates are going down.
Yeah, but I hear all of that, but I actually think that we're going to step into seeing something different, which is just single until you don't want to no more.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being single.
There's nothing wrong with being single. I'm an advocate for singleness, right? But I'm only an advocate for singleness in people that are okay with trying. Because there are a lot of people that are single and cuss people in relationships, but they stop trying. If you're single and you're cussing people in relationships, right, saying your relationship ain't right, blah, 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 I don't think you get to speak unless you're in the game. If you're out here trying and then denying, if you try and then deny when it fails, and that's why you're single, then cool. But if you're single because you're too afraid of the game and you've opted out, I don't think that you get to speak on people in relationships that are at least trying.
Why are you single?
Why am I single?
Yeah.
Because I'm denying.
So you don't... That means you don't have a right to speak on it then?
No, I do. I try, but I deny. It's just that my denial process happens really early.
Anyway, I think what we're going into right now is not singleness. I think we're going into an era and a time.
You're 67 and single. Speak on it.
I'm 31. And any of
That's what I said. You're 74 and single.
74.
That's what I said.
I'm 31.
That's what I said.
The 31-year-old girl
and single
that you are besotted over at the moment, give it a rest, yeah?
I'm saying, listen.
The same person that just told me you was upset about the interview with Lawrence Okoli because I was talking about his feet. I haven't commented on your small feet yet. Okay.
We didn't have to go all there. We didn't
Okay.
have to do all of that. All I'm saying is
we did, because you want to be
all I'm
talking about
saying
my
is this.
age.
I just
Age
want the
shamed me,
perspective
and I
of a
haven't
94-year-old.
I haven't finished. If you
Can
let
you
me
just speak?
finish, that's what I'm doing now. That's what
Okay.
I'm doing now. Before I swear even more, so you have to bleep it out. How about that? Because remember, you're the one that has to edit this. Anyway, as I was saying, what I'm saying is that I think we're moving into a time where people are going to get married quickly and divorced quickly. I think the what's the word? The respect that we used to put on marriage is not what it is now. So now, before, marriage was like a deep thought process in it. You think, is this the person? Now we're kind of just like, let's get married, let's see what happens, and let's get divorced. Or it's either people are not fighting for marriage or their marriage like they used to, which is a good and a bad thing, because a lot of women used to stay in their marriages because they didn't have any other alternative. They couldn't get divorced. They didn't have their own money. They didn't have a job. They didn't have their own lives. So even though we compare marriages to like our grandparents and sometimes people like whose parents are still married, those marriages weren't necessarily good marriages either. Do you know what I mean? A lot of times your dad or your granddad might have stepped out on your grandmother. That's why he's got one child back in Kingston, that your grandmother like it has kept quiet, etc., etc. Nowadays,
You're speaking about times that you were in.
Yeah, obviously. Yes. Anyway,
being 412. But wait, is it a lack of respect for marriage or a lack of respect for self? And the reason why I say that is that I feel like people are entering relationships these days that the red flags are very there. I feel like people marry red flags in 2020. I feel like people treat marriage like, oh yeah, we'll just give it a go.
Well, that's what I just said.
I've seen,
it's just like, we'll see what happens.
I think you're talking, when you say lack of respect for marriage, what I hear is lack of respect for, if I'm in this, I'm staying in this. What I'm talking about is lack of respect for who you choose.
No, I'm talking about lack of respect of even entering into it. Like, marriage is a serious thing. Like what we're both saying, it's not for you to just be like, oh, let's give it a try and see what happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's what people were going into this state, and especially with a lot of famous people getting married so quickly, because if you think about it, they were dating. We don't know how they were dating for, but let's say they haven't been dating for more than 5 years. Okay, they haven't been dating for more than 5 years and married for like the whole thing is not been more than 5 years. So it's like, I
always judge it when two powerhouses get together. I never like it. Let me try. See if I can find the words. But when you see something like a Will and a Jada, and then you see something like a Cardi B and an Offset, it's like there's something businessy to it that I see. Like, I see that person thinking, yeah, I'll get with that person.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's not that I see anything wrong with that, but it's what the reasoning behind it that I think may be an issue. I can't believe that Cardi B gets with an Offset and it's not in her mind it's Offset, or Offset getting with Cardi B and in his mind it's not. And I bagged Cardi B, and it's not Cardi B because at the end of the day, Cardi B is, I don't know what her government name is. Let's say Cardi B's real name is Carlene, yeah. Cardi B becomes Carlene after 4 years of marriage.
100%.
The whole, the spectacle of who she is. I don't know if Will Smith saw Jada Pinkett and set it off. I don't know if they were together before or after that. I don't know if he saw her doing what she was doing, and then that makes the person more amazing to you. But all of the trappings of what makes a person that has to do with their career or what they do for a living will fall flat after 5 to 6 years. If you married a singer and you hear them singing after 6 years of marriage, it might annoy you. It might annoy you when they go up to sing and thousands of people love them for their singing, and you're thinking, you don't even know him. I have to make him cut his fingernails. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like these celebrities, when I see these big celebrities I more prefer when I see these celebrities get with a chick that nobody knew, that was just...
Yeah, but then a lot of times that girl doesn't, or the person or the man doesn't understand their lifestyle. So a lot of people get with people that they feel understands their lifestyle, or they can, you know, it's also about the people that you're surrounded by a lot as well. So don't get me wrong, I do think that the entertainment scene in most countries, like even over here, sometimes it's a bit incestual. Do you get what I mean? As in, like, everyone knows each other, but you can't blame people because that's who you're around the most. Do you understand? That's who you interact with the most. That's who you see at events.
I don't know how people do it. Yeah. Like, people have attached my name to people, or they'll see me like, oh yeah, get on that and blah blah blah. When I talk to a lot of these people in the industry, when I talk to girls in the industry, not saying any names, when I talk to them, I'm like, there's nothing there.
I know, that's why you're basically in love with me. Because there's
so much there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But like a lot of the times when I talk to, like, for instance, even like me saying who I would do this show with, when I was thinking about who I would do this show with, I felt like most people I would have ran over, and I don't want to do a show with somebody.
Tight. Yeah, so calm down yourself.
I'm
waiting for someone to say that. I want to be in an argument with a guy, and then I want him to turn around and be like, listen, tight. Girl, calm down yourself.
Great. I want to be in a conversation with someone that can hold it on. That's why even when people talk to me about, how can you talk to Zeze? She's so annoying because she's of your views. I'm not so much concerned with your views, and I'm more concerned with the fact that you're able to, even if I think they're dumb, you're able to articulate them, and you don't let me run you over and you have your points, even as Neanderthalic as the points may be. Now, here's the thing.
Well, these big words, what do you do? Read a
First
dictionary.
of all, that's not a word, and that's what lets me know your level of intelligence. Neanderthal is a word. Neanderthalic is not a word.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Neanderthal.
Yeah.
It just means dumb.
Oh,
it's a bigger word for dumb. Okay. Now, I believe the Neanderthals is actually a term actually relating to cavemen, but I might be wrong on that. Now,
interesting.
Anyway, with the Cardi B and Offset thing, I hear some people saying it was a business marriage and blah blah blah. Now here's my thing. Yeah. We gotta start figuring out how much of life money is. You're gonna put your emotions and your body through a process. Because from what I heard about the Cardi B and Offset situation,
who did you hear this from? Is it reputable?
No, people in the comment section saying that it's clearly a business marriage because blah blah blah. Right. But because when people see two big people get together like that, it makes sense to think this may be about business too. You get what I'm saying? Even though personally I feel like the Migos have fallen off.
I think that when you do get with someone, when you're at a certain level, you do think about your brand. You think about, how is this person gonna benefit my brand? How many, my friend, he's doing really well for himself. And when I was asking him, like, when are you going to settle down? And he was just like, I can't settle down with anybody. Like, when I settle down with somebody, it has to be good for my brand. They're going to have to speak to my PR. They're going to have to speak to my manager. It can't just be, I'm going to settle down with just any Tom, Dick and Harry. Well, it has to be like, it might be a regular girl, but it's harder.
For me, I can't rate that thinking. Because
no, I do.
I'll tell you why. I think if you get with if you're thinking about compatibility of a person with you, the brand, that will just be an offshoot of what comes with it. Like, I could get with a girl that's great for my brand. But
as obviously it's a whole package.
Yeah.
But you get with, you need to get with somebody. I understand. You get with somebody that if you've worked really well for your brand and you've worked really hard, it's like you've worked really hard. You might be compatible with this girl, but imagine if you went on her page, all she's been talking about is all lives matter.
But then she wouldn't be compatible for me.
Yeah, but
the brand.
No, but you don't know that, because just because that's her view doesn't mean that she's not compatible. There's loads of people that are in.
So I'm saying, all lives matter person is not compatible with me.
But maybe that's never come up in a conversation. Maybe you've spoken about other things.
But I'm saying, there's no way I'm getting with a person where certain things haven't come up.
But she can still have a view of all lives matter.
It's fair what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is there's certain things, but that might not work well for your brand, but you might get along really well with her.
I'm just saying that when I'm thinking about who I'm getting with, my career isn't the first thing I'm checking up on if they'll be suitable for my career. Number one, we live in a world.
You're missing the point. It's not if they're suitable. It's if they fit well with what you've built.
Semantics. But the point, semantics just means...
I know, I'm not dumb, bruv, about semantics. Now you need to do breakdown of every word.
You look really nice today.
Oh, whatever. Go on.
Anyway,
can you stop licking your lips?
I don't need to stop because I just did it once and I didn't. It just happened to fit that time.
Because you was liking what you saw.
Yeah. Anyway, hey. So I just feel.
I think it's quite. Whether it was what do you call it?
I'm just saying, putting your body, having a creating life for business, for me, is far from where I draw the line. I won't even say that's where I draw the line. There's a couple steps before that I'm not on. I'm not on doing certain things for business. I think people value and number. Okay, here's my problem with that. Let's say that that's true, yeah, and they got together for business, yeah. They were both already rich. This is why I say I can't. This is what they go back to the Kim Kardashian and their family conversation that I was having with you last week. It's like there's certain things that we do that we would not ever do if money wasn't attached to them. And I'm starting to separate myself from that kind of thinking now, because I'm realizing that peace of mind, I always knew that, but peace of mind, right? And a holistic life is better than me just doing any and anything for the bag. For instance, and because we live in a world right now where people have mistaken clout with the bag, so they're doing anything for the clout, i.e. the period challenge.
Oh, I can't stand that. Can we just talk about Cardi B but just a little bit longer, what I was going to say? Whether it was for the bag or not or whatever, I find it not sad, but it is a little bit sad that relationships are not lasting anymore, like what we're saying. But and that
it's a dead relationship.
I know.
Don't get in dead ones and they'll last.
But you don't know that until you get into it. You don't know if a relationship's going to be dead till you're in it.
Offset is a young man coming from the hood who's joined a boy band, a black boy band, and just got millions of dollars in his hands. He needs to have sex with 3,000 more girls
this is what I always
before
say.
He gets with Cardi B.
I always say that men at a certain age should not be looking to settle down, especially when...
men at a certain stage...
Can you let me finish?
I can.
I said men at a certain age should not settle down, especially when you have the world as your oyster.
And just got it.
And
it's too soon.
No, there's a certain age. I just don't think that it works for them. I don't think it does. They need to try out loads of different... They need to
say it about the guys that leave Love Island and then you wonder when the relationships crumble.
But we all know Love Island. That's...
No, but I'm saying...
That there is... contractual.
No. Some of them are.
I mean, the only one that is lasted right now is
Tommy and Molly.
No, yeah, Tommy and Molly. But even then, I think Molly got with Tommy because that she knew that would work well for her brand. Molly has fallen in love with Tommy because there's sometimes you get with a guy and you know it makes sense and you're not head over heels over them. They don't give you butterflies, but as time goes on, you learn to be head over heels and butterflies over them. That is what Tommy and Molly
You know why
done.
I'm not gonna say that? Because sometimes when things look like things, I feel sorry for the person that's there screaming to the world. Like, I've watched Molly scream to the world, no,
okay,
I actually like him.
So you're only saying, oh, I feel sorry because you're somehow connected to Molly and you're cool with her.
Jamal, these
times we just had, wait a minute, no. we just had, yeah, but you're connected to the Love Island brand.
I'm not.
So can I just say,
slow down.
Can I just say something?
To certain Love Island
Bruv, we just had a conversation about Offset and Cardi B.
Telling you I'm not connected to Molly May.
But
I am the primary source of the data. I don't care about Molly May. When Molly May cooked dead chicken for Tommy, Jamal, did I not talk about the dead chicken?
Can I just say something, Jamal?
Okay.
We just had a conversation about Cardi B and Offset being organised marriage, right, basically. Yeah. And I can guarantee you, if I said to David, well, how do you know? He would have been like, if I said, well, Cardi B said it's not, he's going to go, well, of course they're going to say that. They're not going to say that. Now, all of a sudden, we can't say Molly May and Tommy in an arranged thing.
No, I'm not. You
said, oh, I feel sorry for them, but we just had a 10-minute conversation about Cardi B and Offset.
I said I feel sorry for her because I feel like she has screamed at people a million times.
I'm pretty sure that Cardi B has probably said that her and Offset are in love, and it's not a business thing.
Did you see the video of Molly May looking through the trees in the Love Island villa at Tommy when he was talking to Maura?
Listen,
you don't, Jamal, you remember that? You don't look from the corner.
You do that. You do when you know the bag is there. Yes, you do. That's to do with the bag. That was to do with her knowing that she needed Tommy to collect. She even said, this is how you know Molly got with Tommy for the bag. She said she was shocked that they didn't win Love Island. In one of her interviews, she was shocked they didn't win. That means you thought, no, because if you're there for love, that means it doesn't matter if you win or not.
It doesn't
How
matter,
can
but
you
I'm
think?
shocked.
But why would you be shocked? That means you think that
because-
you're the favourite because you knew what you was doing.
Because they're an actual couple and Amber was with Greg for 45 minutes.
So
in her head, she thought to herself, maybe I might be winning.
No, because she got with Tommy because she knew it made sense. She got with him because it made sense for her
No,
brand.
wait, no, what are we doing?
She made
No,
it big.
no. What are we doing?
We made it anyway
No,
because you tried to come and defend Tommy and Molly. But as I was saying, because you said, oh, Tommy and Molly are still together. But what I'm saying is, I think she really loves him now. But in the beginning, it was to do with her
Fair enough.
brand.
It's
She
all
even said
speculation.
she said she went into there for
She
her
did.
brand anyway.
She did.
So why wouldn't she couple up for her brand?
Oh, but it's still, it's still speculation.
She
still
said
speculation.
she went in Love Island
Until
for
she
her
said
brand.
She went with Tommy for her brand.
You go into
it's
Love...
speculation.
Bruv, you go into Love Island to find love. So if you couple up and if you go in there before your brand, that means to stay in there long enough so that people understand your brand, you couple up with somebody.
At best, you have a well-informed assumption.
Oh my God, no, I don't. She said all of this out of her mouth.
She didn't say, I got with Tommy for my brand.
She went into Love Island for her brand.
I can't believe we're talking about.
Yeah, but can I
Tommy
just
and
say
Molly.
that
What are we doing?
because I'm just saying you're chatting.
Okay, cool. I am. Let's move on.
Anyway, as I was
Period
saying,
challenge?
No, I haven't finished. As I was saying, I think that it's sad that relationships are not really lasting long anymore.
You think we'd last?
No, because you'd get on my nerves.
You think?
100%.
But I'm different as a friend. I don't care. We're on a show where we have to debate. I don't care about your nerves.
Bruv.
If we were together, I'd care about your
When the
nerves.
camera's off, we have debates and you don't stop talking.
Behave yourself. I don't be going in on you off camera. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
Nah,
Anyway. What's I
and I'm
gonna
in your
say?
corner. Nah. You know what?
It doesn't matter. I'm not saying you don't have to be in my corner.
I'm one
Of
of your
course you're in
biggest
my corner.
supporters.
I know you are, but I'm saying that you're still annoying. And you know, anyway. And I don't think, do you give head? Because this is really important to me. And I've said this loads of times.
This was my fault. I can't say anything.
And then,
I did
and
this
if
to
you
myself.
don't, it's really peak.
I did this to myself.
Do you know, I cannot be with someone long term if they don't give head.
The period challenge.
Couple Pams here and there, but long term, no. And the period challenge is dumb. Period. Poo.
Okay, so here's my thoughts.
Oh my
on the
God,
period
did you
challenge.
watch Gladys Knight? No, it wasn't Gladys Knight.
No, I
Oh, you should have.
It's too old for me.
No, what? It was
old.
so
Obviously,
good.
obviously, because you're 67, it's more in your bracket.
Anyway, the period challenge I think is dumb. Number one, women are always complaining about being sexualized by men. Oh, men sexualize us. Oh, our body parts are not here for you to look at. And then they participate in a whole fucking challenge that is to spell out a word with probably one of the most sexual parts of their body.
What's the difference between the period challenge and when you post a picture with a plunging neckline?
Because it's my top. I'm wearing it. I'm not wearing it.
It's their bottom. They're having it.
No, and you're attaching it to a challenge.
But
That's
if
two different
anything,
things.
attaching it
I
to
can't even believe that you use that as an example. Me wearing
can I make just a
wait, because I haven't finished. Me wearing a plunging top is what I'm wearing out, and I take a picture of it. I'm not taking. There's another challenge called the mood challenge as well, where you stick your tits in the middle and it spells mood. That is different. If I put that up, I'm not sexualizing myself by wearing a plunging top.
I don't think any of the girls in the period challenge took those pictures for the challenge.
Of course they did, but they've now uploaded the picture for that challenge.
I believe the pictures were already uploaded and they took it and then they put
and now
that's what happened.
Of course they did, but they're still sexualizing themselves now.
If anything, the original picture was more sexualized. Now it's no. Let me explain. If anything, the original Batty picture was more sexualized because it's just the Batty. The challenge now is actually bringing a comedic element to it.
And again, like, you want to defend Molly May and her thing. We don't know we don't know if these pictures were there before. A lot of girls are taking them. No, a lot of girls are taking them and doing it as a thing because you have to be standing in a certain way.
Which girls stand in for pictures?
Okay, so my whole point is whether they took the picture or not.
I'm just saying.
Whether they take the picture or not.
To be devil's advocate, right?
There's no either devil's advocate, whatever the devil's advocate is.
Is there a difference between that and when you post a plunging neckline?
Of course there is, because I'm putting a picture up of myself. I'm not then saying and if you choose to look, me putting a picture up of my face, a low cut top, whatever else is in there, if you choose to go and look at my boobs, that's on you. Me now posting a picture that forces people to look at my bum because it spells period, and depending on how big your bum is, is how big the P is or whatever, is sexualizing yourself.
I agree.
That is dumb, unless you don't care. But women are confusing. 1 minute it's like, we don't want to be sexualized, we're more than our bodies. And now you've started a whole challenge that is dependent on how big your bum is.
Are women saying that they don't want to be sexualized?
Yes, they are.
Is that what they're saying?
They don't want to be sexualized by men. We are more than our bodies. This is what the thing
is. Being sexualized and being seen as sexy two different things?
You can't help if you're sexualized.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm answering the question.
If I look at a picture of if I look at a picture of a girl and I acknowledge in my mind she's sexy, whilst understanding that she's more than her body, that she has a mind. Let me just
hurry up.
She has a mind and all of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Is that me sexualizing her?
No, it's not you sexualizing her, because she's put a picture up not emphasizing this sexy part. Now the girls
put up pictures emphasizing their
exactly,
sexy parts.
and those girls that complain about being sexualized, and then every one of your pictures is you crocking your back and facing the things.
Who are the girls that are crying about being sexual? From what I know. From what I know.
So if every one of your pictures is you standing up like this,
yes,
you are sexualizing yourself.
And no, I agree, but this is what I'm saying. From what I know, the girls that post those pictures couldn't care less.
I've seen
about
these
being
girls
sexual.
that will.
There's a difference between being sexualized and being harassed. There's a difference between a man because he sees you post a picture of something like that, expecting some form of flirtiness or physicality from you. Now, from what I'm saying is that from what I've seen, girls that post pictures like that don't mind being sexualized at all.
I've seen girls that post pictures like that, then put up an essay about I'm more than my body, and that's what
they are.
But you are not showing more than your body.
Whether they show it or not, they are.
But you can't expect. It's like
I can't believe you got me out here.
Listen, that's like me saying, "Oh, I'm more than an opinionated person."
No. If you cannot
wait, you can't tell people you're more than something if you don't show them more than that. That's like you saying, No, you can't because
you can't because it's up to them whether they choose to believe what you can.
You can't expect people to see beyond something that you don't show them on social media.
You can't expect what you can tell.
It's just like you. At one point, everyone just thought you was a funny guy.
Yes.
Until you started showing people, actually, I've got a brain. I'm highly intelligent.
But before I did that, I could have said I'm more than a funny guy. Yeah, but I can't expect them to believe me, but I can tell them.
You can't be angry at somebody that doesn't know that you're more than a funny guy, because how are they supposed to know?
But
if all you show is putting up joke videos and then get upset when people call you a joker, or Sideman he's just funny and he doesn't do nothing but tell dumb things, that like they don't know you're more than that.
Every man on earth should automatically assume that every girl is more than their body. Hold on, can I explain something? I don't care how dumb you think she is, how promiscuous you think she is, if you've got a problem with that. Let me just explain, bro.
It's not about a guy thinking a girl's more than her body. It's about women getting upset about being, you only think I'm this, when all you haven't, on your Instagram or wherever, you haven't even shared an opinion. You haven't even said anything other than...
But a woman shouldn't have to share her opinion for you to think that she's more than her body.
Okay.
Come on, what do you think about this?
You want guys...
No, I just want to know.
You want a guy to come...
Do you think that... I just want to ask, do you think that a girl has to show more than her body for a man to assume that she's more than her body?
It's not about assuming she's more than her body, but if you want a man to not look at you, or it's not even not look at you, if you want somebody to think you're more, it's like when these Instagram girls get upset and be like, I'm more than this. It's like, okay, well then show us more than your contour kit. I don't know anything about you.
No, I agree that you can't expect.
Exactly. So what are we arguing about?
No,
that's the whole point.
No, the point that I'm making
is... You can't get upset when every one of your pictures are hyper-sexualized pictures and then you are sexualized. That is my point. Not whether or not you deserve it. You cannot be upset if every one of your pictures on the gram is you hyper-sexualizing yourself. Your pictures are sexual. Your poses are sexual. Your captions are sexual. And then you get upset when a man sexual...
And you've seen these girls that complain about this.
Wait a minute.
You've seen these girls that complain and say, man, sexualizing me.
It's not necessarily just, it's the sexualizing of what comes, so it's the comments from the men. So it's more comments and how they're approached and how they may be approached like they're less of a girl because of it. That's more where the issue lays, I would say. But
So
I think in terms of the just seeing them and sexualizing them because they only have sexy things, that makes sense. So long as you're not then going for.
Yeah, you don't. I'm not saying just because someone's sexualized, it doesn't mean. I'm not saying big disclaimer that because a woman puts up sexy pictures now she deserves to be harassed or whatever. But I'm saying it's like me in the beginning, or people still think I'm this high.
In the beginning, because you were there when God created the garden.
What I'm saying to you is that whatever you put out on your social media is what people are going to think of you.
Yes.
That's man, woman, whatever.
Agreed.
It's the same with men that cry about women only wanting them for their money. Well, what do you think, bruv? You put up fucking Rolex, you put up your nice Bentley, you put up that you go on holiday every day, every other weekend with different girls that you're popping bottles. That is what you want people to think of you. Whatever you put on your social media is what you want people to think of you, okay?
I have to hear what the examples of the sexualization is.
Because why just because of this, like, you can't.
No, you just started examples that you didn't finish. Give me the example.
I can't even think. I've seen it. I've seen girls on the gram.
If a girl is complaining about guys in their comments saying overly sexualized things, yeah. Because if a girl posts a picture in a bikini, even if she's hold on a minute. No, I'm not finished. If you let me finish my point, you'd hear something. If you let me finish, you'd hear. If you let me finish, you'd hear. If you let me finish, you'd hear.
You don't let me finish every week, as they say in the comments.
No. I feel like been letting you finish.
Can I say something? It's not about. You can put a picture up in a bra and knickers, and it's not sexualized. Just because you got a bra and knickers doesn't mean it's sexual.
And that's why I said let me finish. If a girl posts a picture in a bikini in her bedroom with the most sexual pose, yeah, that doesn't mean you can be in her comment section with a call to action for something sexual with you.
It doesn't mean that. But then you need to understand as a woman and as to be fair, I get, like, in this world everything is pretty simple, innit? And at the end of the day, like,
people complicate them.
People complicate things.
I think you should be talking to the men, not the girl.
No, you have to talk to everyone. And that's the thing that I don't agree with. It's not every day you talk to both sides. You have to talk. Everybody has to be accountable for their actions. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So if I start conducting myself in a certain way, people are going to think a certain thing of me.
Yes.
It's like, do you understand what I'm saying? That's
agree.
just life, innit? I'm not saying you should be, but don't complain about being sexualized when every one of your pictures is a sexualized picture.
Okay.
You bending over, provocatively looking back, doing all this. What you're sexualizing yourself. You are actually sexualizing yourself as well, because basically. But if I go on a girl's page and every single one of her pictures is her bum, is there not more to you than your bum? So you're even doing it yourself. You are coming on the gram and all you're doing is turning around, showing us your ass, sexualizing yourself. You are sexualizing.
I guess I feel more comfortable with hearing it when I know that we're addressing the men's side. But now that I've heard the men's side, now I'm gonna jump on your bandwagon with you, yeah. What I don't like about it is that I don't like how people try and pump fake. The reason I believe most girls post pictures like that is because the engagement is better.
Of course it is.
Like, girls know the difference between, I see it all the time. I'll be scrolling through a girl's page, yeah, and you will see the difference between the likes on a post where more flesh is shown and less flesh is shown. And that's why more pictures get posted like that, because they want the engagement. But when you do that, you tell yourself and people,
I don't feel sorry
that
for them.
the validation that your validation should come from your body and your flesh.
But that's what I'm basically saying.
Yeah.
You're doing it yourself.
I just don't rate the men that buy into that and visuals when I see a girl do that. When I see a girl profile like that, for me, when I see it, what it says about you overrides what I see. For me.
Okay, but that's not.
And I don't necessarily think that's not the case with more perverted men, and I'll tell you why. Because you know what men do, which women don't understand a lot of the times, yeah? Men categorize. We put girls in, everybody's getting got. Okay.
But everyone does that. Everybody categorizes everybody.
Everybody categorizes somebody, but it's good to know you're being categorized. And sometimes girls don't know they're being categorized. So this is the point that I'm making. I'm making the point that every girl, in the mind of a pervert, all of you are getting beat. No one's not getting beat. Trust me, you'll all
know that.
You'll all get beat. It's what you're getting beat for. It's whether I'm approaching you for being my girl or approaching you for just being my girl for right now. Now, this is slowly becoming not the case, because let's be very clear, man in 2020 are wifing whoever. I just want to be very clear, and I know that now.
Right.
I've seen that. Man in 2020 are wifing whoever, but there are still a breed of man that will look at you with that picture and approach you, but they're approaching you in their mind thinking this is the easy chick.
Well, yeah, but that's nothing new. That's been happening. It's been happening from beginning of time. Like, we know that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, all this stuff that's not new information. Man have been doing that for time. If anything, like you said, it's actually probably got better, because now, man, like you said, the girls that we thought would never get wifeyed are getting wifeyed before girls that we thought would. So in actual fact,
what do you think about that though?
I don't care. Like, if men want to do that, that's your prerogative. I don't think if a girl wants to sexualize herself and do whatever, then if she's still, like, she should get wiped. There's nothing, doesn't mean that she's a thing.
I think a lot of men aren't looking for partners anymore, and they're looking for trophies.
Well, that is nothing new. That has been.
I think that's a change that's happening in recent times.
Absolutely not, because back in the day, men only used to get with women, number one, because maybe they look good and because they thought they were going to look after their home.
But the look after the home thing is a bit more than trophy.
No, but there was still a trophy. There was still what you class as a trophy right now. You're probably talking about girls that look really good. They do themselves. But back in the day, wives were still your trophy. It was still something you had on your arm to show whether you think that woman was good looking. It was to do with the wife being on your arm. So nothing has changed apart how men see women. That's not changed. My thing is, women, the whole feminist movement, it was so that we didn't sexualize ourselves. It was so that we was more than our bodies, okay?
I don't know if that's what it is.
No,
it might be for you.
No. That's what I said. Wait a minute. What the suffragette movement was to do with us being able to vote, us being able to work. The neo-feminism and the fourth wave of feminism, whatever we're on now, is to do with what we see now, which is the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions, that I can fuck around, I can do what I want, and you can't call me a hoe, and the slut walk. This is the new age of feminism. But what feminism was about when it first started was that we had equal pay, that we could vote, that we could work, that we could do all of that. Those women did not get put in, and so that we were seen as more than sexual objects. As in, like I said, you didn't come home from work and you just thought that you could lay down with me because I'm your wife and there was going to be food on the table. I was more than that. I was more than your sexual being toy or whatever that you know what I mean? That's what they were campaigning for. That's what they marched for. That's what they got locked up for. So my thing is, we are now as women going back, because what we wanted to get away from, which was us being just here for our bodies and just being seen as sexual human beings to make babies and to cook food, we are now doing that to ourselves. Every picture you put on the gram where you're using your body, like you said, to get likes, to get this, to get that, that is you sexualizing your body and saying, I'm only my body. Only my body is going to get me these likes. And that is what feminism was against. It was that me as a woman, I'm more than my body. But now we've done a whole 360 and now it's about, as long as it's up to me. If I want to use my body as a sexual thing, then it's my choice. It's about me. If I want to use my body, I had a big old mate. I got dragged back in quarantine because I said, I'm sorry, as a feminist, and I don't regard myself as a feminist. I don't class myself as a feminist. But what I do like to do is look at these women that call themselves feminists and then look at them and think, what the fuck is going on here? Because all these things that you like, I said, do feminists think that quarantine radio where women are twerking for men, for a man started this, twerking for a man for money, do you think that is progressive?
Well, I guess the feminist movement is about women being able to do whatever they want to do.
Okay, but you're still
if I want to twerk for a man, I can.
You're still doing it for a man. So
but that's what I want
it's a contradiction because you're complaining about a patriarchal system, but you're doing it for a man.
But if the mission is for me to do what I want,
yeah, but you're still doing it.
To twerk for
but
the
whole thing is you're still doing it, and you're not doing it for. You're still being sexualized. So then make up your mind.
There's a woman that wants to be sexualized and there's a woman that doesn't. And I think feminism is about women being able to do whatever they want to do.
That's what feminism is now, and that's why I don't agree with it. I agree with what feminism.
So you don't think women should be able to do what they want to do?
They can. Women can do whatever they want to do, but then don't be walking contradictions. Do what you want to do. It's just like the other day when I did my interview with Lawrence, women started saying I was sexualizing him. But then the other day, last year, you made Tion Way's print picture go viral. That wasn't men that made that picture go viral. That wasn't men. That was women that sexualized him. That sexualized Tion Wayne.
I deleted that.
This is my thing. Women complain about being sexualized, but we sexualize men so much. Women sexualize men so much. It's unbelievable. Okay? We do that on a regular basis. Mate, I saw a post the other day that said, oh, it's grey season pants coming, meaning like the print is going to show through the grey pants.
Yes.
Do you think a man could ever put that up about a woman? Oh, yeah, it's cold season coming. Nipples are going to be sticking through the tops. Can't wait. We would go crazy. So all of this stuff about, oh, we want this, we want equal this, we want equal rights for pay and for working and for all of this stuff. But stuff that we do to men, sexualizing men, looking at men's print, looking at men's feet size, looking at this, seeing a man's nice body on the internet and being like, oh my God, what I would do to that body. Oh, just can't wait to see. This is the stuff that we say as women on a regular day, yeah, on the internet, okay? And people want to. It's
Can I ask a
contradiction.
Question? What do you think is the right side of fair? That women get to do whatever they want with however many men without ever being called a hoe, or that men start being called a hoe with effect? Because the thing is, men do get called...
No, it should just be that women get to do whatever they want. I think that women should be able to sleep with whoever they want and not get called a hoe. Do what you want to do. If you
I just wanted to
sleep
ask
around,
what you thought should happen.
No, I just think that I don't think it should be, because I'm a very realistic person. Let's be honest, it's never going to happen. That is never going to happen, that men are going to get called hoes. And even if a man get called a hoe, he's still going to find it very easy to get a girlfriend. Whereas a woman that is known as the neighborhood hoe or the industry hoe, it's going to be hard for her to get wifed, right?
Not in 2020.
No, okay, but a lot of black men are still very narrow-minded when it comes to things like this, innit? Like, they still are very like, oh yeah, what, my girl could never be doing that. Even if they end up with that, but they're still outwardly very prudish about it. Do you get what I mean? Especially within the black community, there's certain things. Even talking about oral is still a big thing. Like the other day I said, I think as black women, I should be able to say I enjoy oral sex without being called a hoe. Or without someone saying, oh yeah, Zeze's loose because she's always chatting about giving. So what if I'm talking about giving oral sex? It's normal. It's a part of sex. Why is it a big thing? But my whole thing is, women should be able to sleep with who they want to sleep with, do what they want to do, but not be called a hoe, and men should whatever. It's a thing. And I also, when you get to a certain age, I don't think you should even be using the word. If I chat to a man and he's over the age of 28 and he uses the word hoe, we can't chat anyway. Because that just lets me know that you're very immature mentally. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think 95% of the girls that do that don't care and don't care for this conversation.
100% they do. They care about it when it suits them. I've seen it with my own eyes. These girls crying on the internet because, oh, everyone this. But sis, no, I'm more than my body. Then put other stuff out that is not about your body.
Fair enough.
Maybe put a picture up of your face, or maybe put a picture up of, or share an opinion. It doesn't have to be like me and you, but you can say what you think on something, or all the craziness that's going on in the world. Not a picture of your ass turned around with a long caption about what's going on in the world. Like, what has your ass got to do with COVID? Do you understand what I'm saying? What the does that have to do with COVID?
Grenfell.
Yeah, it's all mad.
Apparently, they've lost the files.
They probably have lost it, but it was deliberately lost.
I am slowly realizing the world that we live in.
I've been realizing it.
I'm going to tie this into the John Boyega topic, right? And you might wonder how, but I'm going to tie this into the company using John Boyega advert in the UK, but not in China, right? I think for a long time, I'll give you an example. When my dad first came to this country, right? My dad would go to, when we go to the market, right?
Yeah.
My dad would haggle.
Yeah.
Haggling is when you try to get a cheaper price for something, right? So he'd go to the market and he'd haggle and he'd be like, oh, nah, do it for this. If they're trying to do it for 20, he'd ask them to do it for 10. But then my dad, when we first came here, would be trying to do that in McDonald's. And I'm like, Dad, their prices are set. This is a different thing. I've gone back to thinking how my dad thought then. These companies are made by people. it just doesn't feel like that because they feel like institutions. They feel like faceless, nameless organizations that have their rules, and they'll tell you this is the protocol and this is the this. And when they tell us that, we just say, okay then. But these protocols are made by people. You see, because I've been behind the scenes of an industry, I've seen that people make decisions. People behind the machine are humans with biases and thoughts, feelings and opinions.
Yes.
And they will decide what goes and doesn't go based on whether they like you or not. So company protocol or government protocol or business protocol is just another word for this is how we get out of this. And they draw up these contracts and they draw up things to escape or to match their personality or individual values. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So them looking in our face and saying, Grenfell, we lost the files, will be forgotten by us next week because we don't know. We don't have a person. When we as a community, when a celebrity fails, we know who to point at, right? You did this. You did it. You get what I'm saying? But when these organizations do it and we hear about it, we cuss in the comments for 2 days, but we don't really ever do anything about it because we don't know who to point at. We just see it as there it goes, the system doing it again. And we cost people for using the system because we can see people and we feel like we can reach people, but we never cost the system. We're in a system that if you don't use the system, it's inconvenient for your life. You understand what I'm saying? So we punish each other and cuss each other and say, how come you working with them, or how come you use that product, or how can you work with them when you know this? But we're poor, impoverished and struggling and do you know what I'm saying? Mentally challenged by the things that are happening, right? Whereas these companies get to hide behind their names of the company and we don't address them. So this Grenfell thing, the thing that burns me about it is we are going to let this go and it's going to we're going to let it happen.
Yeah,
Whereas if it was a person, they would have been cancelled. We would have been able to cancel them.
But there is a person. That's the whole point. There is a person, and they know that we or people are not. They're going to be too lazy to find out who the person is.
Oh no, there is a person. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
we gotta stop that.
100%. So it's down to us. The system is there. Like, this is the world that we live in, and that's another thing basically that I'm saying. Sometimes all of this, like, this is the world that we live in. Jump on board and understand this is the world that we live in. Okay, we live in a world that is. And that it's about money, and it's about the ticking over of money, and this whole we live in a capitalist world, and we just have to understand that. So what we need to do then is stop complaining about it and knowledge ourselves.
We need to care to cancel whoever it is saying they lost the Grenfell files as much as we care to cancel Katie Hopkins, who just talks.
Okay, but you can cancel both of them, and that's But the whole point is that because everyone enjoys fake outrage. That's what I call it, and it's fake outrage because, like you said, it lasts for 2 days. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it can't last for longer than a week, to me, it's fake outrage. You wasn't really upset. You just jumped on the bandwagon. You done a retweet. You put your little emoji and did like, what? For real?
I wouldn't even say that. I would say we're bewildered, and that's how the system's kept us oppressed for so long. And let me just explain.
Yeah, I didn't finish. My whole point is that me personally, I'm almost a little bit bored of everybody using the excuse of like, oh, we're this, we're that. We need to start, like you were saying, joining the system, okay? We need to and understand how the system works, okay? And what that is they've said that, this is they've lost the files. Okay, you've lost the files. Now we as a people, we are now gonna take the right actions to understand how this happened, why this happened, and how we make this change, or how we sue these people that have lost the files. Apparently, none of this fake making it trending, like you said, for 2 days on Twitter, and then everyone's forgets. And that's why they do that, because also they know that a lot of stuff that the people that they're dealing with, they might feel like this information is alien. How are we even gonna contact the people that like it seems so like whoa,
Far away, exactly.
Like, and they know that we're going to be like whoa. Like, do you get what I mean? It's like my friend, she had a problem. Someone in her family had a problem with housing, and they made it seem like it was such a big thing. But she knows about it. Okay, so she was like, I understand this very well. But what they do is they throw all this big language at you, make you feel like, whoa, what the is going on here? And then they know, but because we are a little bit intimidated by the magnitude of it, then everyone just thinks, oh, we can't touch that. But what we need to start doing is bossing up as a people, and this is not even a race thing. This is just as a human race
Good
thing
people
now.
versus evil people.
It's like we need to start reading or having people around us in our communities that understand, actually, this is how we now challenge this.
And that's why I rate what John Boyega did. In terms of, because you see when John Boyega first made his statement saying, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to say this. And he's talked about protecting black women. Remember when he did his speech?
Yeah.
That weren't when he needed to think about, I don't know what's going to happen. It's what he's doing right now when he's openly talking about the fact that with Star Wars, he was cut out of the China part of the campaign. And talking about this fragrance company. Because now he's whistleblowing what's going on. And what he's doing there, right, is what we need to be doing. Right? It is, no. They want us to have these conversations in private rooms where they get to control the narrative and tell us 100%. What protocols and what rules mean that they can't do anything. But guess what? When you put it to the public, like for instance, ITV and the whole diversity thing, if they had ever apologized for that, we would have kicked up the biggest storm you would have ever seen and blown 21,000 complaints out the water with how we would have switched on them, right? That's why the public aspect of it is our weapon. We don't have the 100%. Capital. We don't have the capital to go toe to toe with them. We don't have the institutions or the industry, but what we have is voices, and people like John Boyega doing what he done by blatantly saying it out loud. People like Diversity who take the opportunity to make a public statement on a big platform like Britain's Got Talent is how we continue the narrative and push the conversation.
Finished?
Yes.
Great, lovely.
This has been Coz We Can.